Okay, this is La Esplanada in Alicante. It's like the main walkway, and it was the first thing I saw when I was in Alicante. And this is kind of it before the sun sets. These really big bulb lights go on, and it was also my favorite place to jog, which kind of bothered some pedestrians, but I kind of took it in that way. Okay, sorry, 20 seconds, here we go. This is my host family. I'm the one that stands out, obviously, but I learned a lot of incredible things from these people. And every morning, Bibi, the mother, would wake up and go to the church and feed the homeless people of Alicante before she'd take care of me. So it kind of just shows just the generosity of the people you live with. And they also told me that this is a great place to play volleyball, and this is pretty much my stereotypical picture of Alicante. You have the castle, the beach, and this is a lot of the time spent, well, not a lot of the free time spent that I had. And it was really nice because you can meet random people, and it was the best kind of medium to become friends with. Even if you didn't speak the language, you could play sand volleyball and just kind of hang out with people from all over the world. This is in Madrid, and these are some churros we ate. There was there's like a large group of our friends going, and we weren't kind of signed up, and there's 4 of us that didn't have tickets. So like the day before, we bought all these tickets and decided to go to Madrid. This is the first week, and it was the first time I ever met friends in Spain. So this is kind of one of the things we did. This is paella, which is something I feel like stereotypically you have to show of Spain. It was my host mom's, and she was a phenomenal cook, and she would just keep cooking and cooking and giving you food, and I would be like stuffed, but it took me the longest time to tell her, like, okay, I'm done, no more food, I'm getting way too big over here. And when I had friends over, she was super generous with their food, even though they didn't have much. This is in Gibraltar, which is a really cool cultural experience because it's at the tip of Spain, but it's technically governed by England. So you walk through, show your passports, and there's like a big, stereotypical telephone booth. And someone's like, welcome to England, which is crazy because it's very far away. And these are those famous monkeys that are up there on the rock. And me and him were talking about our both opposable thumbs. This is Chefchaouen in Morocco, which was an amazing experience. They paint all the walls of the city blue, and it was kind of interesting because it was the first real kind of third world country I've ever been to, and it gives you a good insight of what you have and the things you use every single day that you kind of take for granted, that they don't have there. This is the piña. There's an expression in Spain, it's called somos una piña, which translates into we are a pineapple, but to them it means we're a tight-knit group. And we learned that from a Barcelona interview. And we went to Prague and Budapest, and our buddy Charlie kind of coined the phrase. So this was like the kind of group we had for that trip, and we called ourselves the Piña. And it was a lovely trip, by the way. Great places. This is Las Fallas in Valencia. It's a big festival, and they build these huge fallas, and they're like sculptures about what happened during the year, or just kind of something like Poseidon here. And this is one of the bigger ones they had, and that night we watched it burn to the ground because that's the tradition of the festival, while we listened to Spanish opera, and it was just this huge fire right by these buildings and this really loud, powerful music. This is in Portugal. We went to Portugal for the weekend too, and this is technically what our trip people told us, what people thought was the end of the world. So just kind of looking out into nothing, but just the vast enormity of the coastline from the Atlantic is really crazy to see, and I also thought it was just kind of a beautiful picture and a nice moment. This is La Sagrada Familia, which I think is my most loved building, and Barcelona is my favorite city in the whole world, but for reasons like this, the intricacies of this building are just enormous and crazy, and it's not even finished yet. They're continuing every single day, like building it up to the actual endpoint that Gaudi wanted, but I like this picture because you can kind of see all the detail in the back. This is Camp Nou, which is where Barcelona plays football or soccer, and it was crazy to see a little experience of what really a beloved Spanish cultural thing that football is. And I mean, the people there were just so fanatic, and the stadium was so big, and you could tell we're like in the very, very back of it, so we had a nice look at the whole thing. Got to see Messi score a free kick. This is at a bullfight in Saragossa that we went to, a city that I probably would have never have gone to had we not had the only chance to see a bullfight was there, essentially. And this guy in the middle here is El Cid. One guy got hurt, and he got a sub in, and he's one of the best, so it was really cool to see that. And it was a very interesting experience to see a bullfight for the first time. This is in the Canary Islands. We kind of took a catamaran ride and almost lost my phone hanging over the edge here trying to get this cool picture of these dolphins that swam by. But it was a nice, relaxing kind of week off from, well, we're still technically in Spain, but a couple of friends hanging out on the beach and going to see dolphins all day. It was cool. This is during the Community of Santiago. If you can't see on this, this is the concha shell, and you follow that. That's your guide as you're walking through the countryside. You have to follow this shell, and then if you get lost, you just have to kind of find it. Otherwise, you're up here on your own. But this is the third day, and your feet are just killing. They hurt so bad. You walk from like sunrise to sunset, and you'll see moments where you're like, why am I doing this? And then you like take a corner and go off to the left, and you see the beautiful Spanish countryside. And these are our friends. On the day before, one of our very good friends had to leave early, and it was like the first time somebody left, and it kind of seemed like this whole surreal event was starting to come to a close, and we all came out to the beach and talked about our favorite moments so far and had toasts and cheers, and it was a really great moment for us. And this is, I got to cover a festival called Primavera in Barcelona. My sister works for a music magazine in New York, so she gave me tickets to see this, and I just had to write articles for her. And this band's called The National. It's like my favorite band, so I got to see my favorite band in my favorite city, and it was like the last 5 days I was there in my Spain trip. So it was kind of a fitting close to the whole thing. And this is Columbus in Barcelona, right near the docks, and it was my very last day, so it was kind of emotional for me, I suppose, and I was just walking down near the docks, had some paella on La Rambla, just kind of thinking about the whole crazy, semester I just had and the experiences I had, and I kind of snapped this picture with this crazy pink hue here up to the top, and I thought, it was a fitting end. So I stopped in New York City on the way home, so I wasn't technically home, but it was my kind of decompression point where everything kind of set in. But I was technically not necessarily in what it felt like America, because I was in Chinatown staying with my sister. But it was kind of a nice little gap before the real reality of St. Louis coming home. And the best part about the whole thing is that we're all still friends. This is here in Colombia at Logboat Brewery. We still hang out, all my Alicante buddies, all of my study abroad friends. And we still see each other a lot, which is great because I'm in my 5th year and all my friends already graduated, so I can kind of lean on them to be my social group now. But I don't think they mind me at all.